Hello everyone. We'll start now with iteration number 4, and the purpose of this iteration is to display the details of a contact. Where we are with the iteration plan, we are able now to display the list of contacts based on our own custom type for the contact and our class that manages the list of contact that we called contact data source. We were able to tie that to the table view controller, and we were also able to create a new contact using another screen and learn about the unwind segue and learned about uh, yeah, I think that's all. And the navigation using another navigation controller to manage the navigation of coming back. So here, this is the last part of the requirement, which is to display the details of a contact. And then we have two extra credits, one to manage the contact list a little bit, delete and reorder. And you can do so many different things there, which I will not cover. You can do search, you can do sectioning of the contact based on last name, or so many things you can do with the list, and you can review the table view controller guide on the Apple developer website for more details about how you can manage the different parts of the list. The other extra credit part, which I think is very important, is saving to file. We'll learn in that part a little bit about the Apple the file structure and what folders your app has access to, and how your app can create files, can create folders, and can write to that file and retrieve. And so that will be an interesting component. So let's move to this one. So the problem formulation, the scope is very clear and simple. Display the details of a contact. When we define the contact, we define them as first name, last name. In my case, I added an email, but you can add so many different other types of data that represent a contact. In the list of contacts, we're only able to display the first name and last name. There's no space to display the email. So here we want to allow the user to see everything about the contact. How do we test that scope? The user opens the application, sees the list of contacts, they click on a contact, and it will display the details of that contact. So solution formulation in the model. So in order to display the list of contacts, we need the list of contacts and we need a single contact information. We also need to model the first name, the last name, the emails, and all the other details. And we have done all of that in prior iterations. So this particular iteration will make no change to the model. With respect to the view, we need to create another view that will display the details of a contact, and we need to add components to that view to display those details. We can use something similar to what we have done in previous module, use view controller and use labels on that. However, for this one, I want to continue using the table view controller. This will be a static table view controller similar to what we did before in the previous iteration, and we display all the information that I defined for a contact, the first name, last name, and email, were of type strings, and the UI label component is a perfect component to display that. If you defined other types of contact, you can use other components as well. So for the controller, we're adding another custom controller because we're going to create a contact detail view. We'll add a custom controller to that view. The purpose of that custom controller is to receive the contact information, the contact that was selected from the list, and display the details of that contact or link them to the components. So we're gonna have to have some outlets uh, for that contact, for the labels on those contacts. Um, so view did load, assign the labels. The main controller will have to pass the selected contact to the contact details. So we're gonna use prepare for segue for that. And prepare for segue acts like a bridge that connects both controllers, allowing us to access the destination or the source, like we did in previous iteration. We access the source. Here we're going to access the destination of the segue, and access properties on the segue to assign data to it and transition that. So in the implementation, we start by adding another screen for the contact details and configure that screen to be able to display first name, last name, and email. And if you have other details, you need to configure them as well. We need to add a custom controller, connect the main controller to the contact details. Then we need to add components, labels, implement the view did load in the contact details controller, then implement the prepare for segue in the main controller. One of the things that will be new here is how to know which cell was selected. And as we did with the picker view, we found a function that give you the selected row, the index of the selected row. The table view controller has something similar, and we will use that to retrieve the selected cell. And then finally run the app and test it. So that's basically iteration number 4. So we'll go ahead and build that in the next video.